And we're live. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Cast Strength, episode 22.
Is it 22?
22.
Wow. 22. Can't believe we lasted this long.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
Oh, we're already going there, are we?
Yeah, might as well, right? Start the show off hot.
Yeah.
Nice, hot and bothered. So yeah, how's it going, guys?
It's
Fantastic.
good. We wanted to introduce ourselves. This is my first time on this side of the camera.
That's true.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Introduce yourself, Gretchen.
Hey, my name's Gretchen. I'm married to this ginger.
You can tell because of the embroidery.
My gaudy shirt that I bought myself.
Okay, what does everybody think? Is this an enormous logo?
It is enormous.
It's almost bigger than the pocket is, but Vito's got Vito's is a tasteful size.
Mine is a wee size.
But in my defense, it took you guys 7 months to order. And I have an e-commerce shopping addiction.
She's a woman of action.
I am.
This is why you brought her on tonight.
Yeah,
it is.
Exactly.
Oh, look, it's a Gretchen. Thanks, Patrick Cohn. It is a Gretchen. I thought I was the only one that you knew, but now my feelings are hurt.
That implies there's more than one.
There's only one in people's lives.
Just more
Except for Jared. Our friend Jared has a dog named Gretchen, and it's a very uncomfortable situation for me when I'm at his house.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Who else we got in here? We got Patrick Cohn. We got the Brad LeClaire in here in the chat.
I thought he was.
What the hell?
I thought he was fired.
What the hell?
That's why I'm here.
No, Brad has to
adult.
What does he call it? Goblin duty.
Yeah. Adult.
Goblin duty. Who else we have in here? We got John V. We've got the Sweet Tea 1985, our good friend. Donald Rance. We got Jeremy Sims in the chat. I thought he had ducked out for a minute.
No, he's feeding me questions. He's my support team. He's abandoned you guys. He's my support team tonight.
All right. We got John Gunsel, Sniper Mac, Esmac. I saw Esmac commented on our post earlier.
He did.
We got Eli Cook and who else?
Mitch Weddle.
Have I hit everybody? Yeah. Have I hit everybody? Oh no, the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
The bottom shelf. Our good buddy, the mariachi.
Sniper Mac.
So what's going on tonight, Vito? You got something in the glass already, or what?
I just poured myself some Nika Pure Malt.
Nika Pure Malt, nice. I have a little Teeling small batch.
Nice.
Yeah, just picked this guy up the other day.
Is a small batch a single grain as well?
It's a blend.
Okay.
Finished in rum casks, right?
Ooh.
So I assume. I mean, it definitely tastes like it's got a little bit of grain whiskey to it, and they have a single malt expression too, right?
Yeah.
So
I need to try more Teeling stuff. The one that I've had, I wasn't a big fan of, but I've heard such good things about others. So
I would say for the price, this is definitely okay. You know, like it's a solid, inexpensive Irish. I'm a fan. For the price point. It's not, it's no red breast, green spot kind of territory, but.
Well, how would you compare it to the Jameson Black that you enjoy very much so?
Maybe a little less rich than the Jameson Black Barrel to me, but it does have that kind of cool rum note from the rum cast finish.
What's the difference in price on those two where you are?
Right about the same.
Oh, okay.
Maybe $5 difference. Yeah. So.
Very good, man. Yeah, I messed up with my Japanese whiskey, Japanese quote unquote. I'm not sure if Eric waits in the chat, but we were talking a couple weeks ago about Japanese whiskey and how there's not real strict laws to follow. So like Japanese whiskey could be sourced from outside Japan.
Right, exactly. A lot of it is now. A lot of these odd little brands that you're seeing in stores are.
Yeah. So he was saying like I'm not going to buy Japanese whiskey unless I know that it was made and like distilled in Japan.
Sure. Yeah. Why would you buy something that's Japanese that's not really Japanese? I mean,
yeah. So I messed up because I feel like now with the shortages that they're having,
right,
that we're going to have obviously the price hike and everything like that. But I messed up.
John asked me, is blended grain a thing? If I understand the question correctly, yes, it absolutely is a thing. Compass Box Hedonism. That's a blended grain whiskey. There you go.
And Jeremy Sims wants to know, will tonight be the night Vito finds out the bottle that has been enhanced?
Do you know about this yet, Gretchen?
I'm very scared to ask.
The bottle has been enhanced.
Is like an infinity bottle?
No. So apparently, many months ago, when Brad was last here, he messed with one of my bottles.
Oh, this. Yes, I do know.
Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
And
when it is.
I have not found it yet, and I'm really scared because, like, mentally, I'm hesitant with every whiskey that I've poured myself.
So,
and I'm not too sure. Like, is what I'm tasting right now the actual bottle, or like am I finding hints of like mist in this?
So basically, what you're saying is that Brad's mission was accomplished. He has you constantly on edge.
I've been reeling. Like I can't sleep at night because of it.
So Patrick Cohn's in the chat, and we're good friends with him, and he stays with us when he comes to town. So Patrick, that's a challenge. We need to fuck with Josh next time you're in town with one of his bottles.
I don't know if I can get on board with this plan.
You don't have to be on board with this plan.
Yeah.
But I'm laying down the challenge.
Do I have to put one of those like a biometric lock on the door here or something that you can only get in with my fingerprint?
There's enough whiskey in that conservatory to warrant such a security measure.
We could always do it just to Brad's collection.
Look, I'm going to say this.
Patrick's collection.
I'm going to say it like this. I don't need to get my whiskey enhanced. I like it all naturally. You know what I'm saying?
Why are you looking at me?
Oh my god.
We're already in Cast Strength After Dark. Good night, everybody. Have fun, Vito.
Carl Ivy showed up. What's up, Carl? Who else we got? Benjamin Eves.
Benjamin Eves is a new, fairly new name.
Yeah.
So you guys didn't ask me what's in my glass.
I think he's coming to the Crowded Barrel now with John V. If I'm not mistaken.
Right on.
I think I have to put John Gunsel in timeout again because he said mix some of Josh's Balcones with some iron root.
I mean, that would be a pretty epic blend, truthfully.
I mean,
you know what? That actually might sound really good.
See, here's the thing.
We've got a couple cases of iron root in the house right now.
I'm just, I don't see any problem with that. I mean, even if they were mixed up.
Yeah. John might be on this one. All right, John, you're escaping the mute button that I've discovered.
So what are you drinking at the moment?
We had a friend stay with us the last couple of days, and I came home from a little bit of a stressful day yesterday. And as soon as I walked in the door with my breakfast cup and my coffee cup in my hand, I was I was presented with this, the early times Kentucky Straight Bourbon, and I was presented with this and this exact Glencairn, actually. I think I washed it. I don't remember. Last night was a long night. And said, "Here, drink this." And I want that to happen every day when I come home from work now.
Well, you're gonna have to ask. You're gonna have to ask Ella, get her to figure out how to pour whiskey because you get home before I do.
Yeah. So early times, and our good friend that was staying with us actually left this. So thank you, Whiskey Ginger. Thank you.
I think it was left on purpose, although I'm not sure.
If not, maybe it'll be here next time he comes. We'll see. But so that's what I'm drinking tonight.
What's everyone in the chat drinking tonight? Let's get some feedback on these guys. See if you guys can make us envy you.
Yeah. What's everybody drinking? And while everybody's saying what they're drinking,
you want some questions?
Hold on. I wanted to say recently we got a couple of awesome like post shares and shout outs on social media and stuff like that kicked us up. God, how many subscribers?
About 30?
30-ish?
About 30-ish.
25 and 6 hours last night.
Yeah. So
at the time that Josh and I were drinking at $7,000, we got 25 subscribers.
Yeah. So first of all, Spencer Whelan with Texas Whiskey Trail and Texas Whiskey Association. He shared it on the Texas Whiskey Trail page?
Yeah.
So thank you, Spencer, very much. And then we found a local whiskey group here recently. We ran into downtown at $7,000 at the Ardbeg Day event called the Probst Guild.
Yeah.
So we joined up with those guys. They came out to the Whiskey Tribe meetup that we hosted the other day. They host a bunch of little pop-up happy hours and stuff like that. So they've been encouraging their membership to come and check us out as well. So
and they came to our
thank you
meetup.
guys.
They came up to our meetup on Saturday. A group of 3 or 4 of them came and had a really good show. And they have a great time at our meetup. So.
Yeah, they're having a little pop-up happy hour right now for a particularly special reason for a particularly special member of theirs. So if any of those guys are watching, cheers. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hope you all are having an awesome happy hour.
Yeah.
Well, so what do we got? We got Compass Box Oak Cross happening with the bottom shelf there. We got Grass Widow Barrel Proof from Wise Guy Whiskey Guy.
Darjeeling tea. On call again. I feel for you, Donald. I go on call tomorrow night, so I am going to drink a lot tonight.
Oh, wow. Getting aggressive.
Getting aggressive.
Mark from still in Canada, he's drinking Ardbeg 10. And for those that haven't already, I would suggest, for those, especially in the GTA area, but definitely everyone else, go take a look at his channel. He's a gentleman out near me who is in the middle of opening up a new distillery.
Oh, nice.
And he's posting progressional videos on like his progress through the whole process and everything. I don't know if I can say process more in a sentence. God damn it. But he invited us out to the distillery about a month and a half ago or so now, and it's taken me that long to put together a video from some footage that I filmed, and I do apologize that it's taken this long, but life things. But
that's
take a look at his channel.
That's the Silver Fox Distillery, is the
Silver
name?
Fox Distillery, yeah.
Yeah, Silver Fox. That's a pretty cool name for a distillery, I think.
Yeah, definitely a really cool name. Really cool logo. Super, like the nicest people. Mark and his wife are just wonderful to be around and have a conversation with. And
Yeah. So sounds like you need to get some editing work done then.
Yeah.
I have actually. You know what? I'm off from work tomorrow, so I might buckle down and try and get through the majority of it tomorrow, and we'll see where the day leads me. But I hope to get it out soon.
Awesome. What else are people drinking? We got John Gunsel is doing Redbreast Lustau, always delicious.
Doug drinking Baby Blue.
My man, little Balcones Baby Blue.
A couple of us are going to
like
20
10 or 12 of us,
are going to from Austin are going to go to the Balcones event on Saturday.
Yep, the High Plains single malt, which is all barley grown in Texas, and as far as they know, that's the first whiskey that's made entirely of Texas grown barley. And
I'm going to give a plug for the Texas Whiskey Trail, because if you're a Trailblazer member, then you actually get tickets to the event for free using your membership.
That's true. I'm glad we didn't buy tickets before we found that out.
I didn't, yeah.
What else we got? Patrick's drinking a little Iron Root Esoteric.
Yeah.
I actually have a little bit of Iron Root Esoteric sitting right.
Well, we've got 2 bottles because somebody gifted us another one the other day.
This one's got some caramel malted wheat and what else? I forget what else was in here. It's mostly caramel malted wheat and then maybe some rye.
There's ginger hair in there too, I'm told.
There's ginger magic in every bottle.
Oh boy. Real quick, thank you to Eric for sharing the link on his Twitter. Appreciate it.
Eric Waite?
Yeah.
Awesome. That guy, Eric, is killing it with the like well-researched educational stuff on his channel right now. He's doing the History of Scotch Whiskey series, which is really cool. I've gotten through like 7 or 8 of them, but I think he's up to 10 now.
Yeah, he put in some work with that.
Yeah. So go out and check out Eric Waite's channel. Probably everybody's checked out Eric Waite already, but if you haven't, you absolutely should.
I learned a lot more about wine because we used to be into wine before we switched over to whiskey. So he's taught me a lot about wine.
Yeah, that's true. Eric has 2 separate channels, Whiskey Studies and Wine Studies. So double subscription. There you go. That's what you should do.
Welcome in, Teresa Smith, Canadian Whiskey Smith. How are you?
Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Teresa. Yeah.
Cap and Make It Happen, Richie Z. All right, we got 31 in the chat right now. Shall we start with questions?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Oh wow,
I'm ready.
So the concept tonight, in case
Primed
anybody,
and ready.
primed and ready. The concept tonight, in case anybody didn't see the description or the post on social media and stuff, was kind of to just do a ask us anything kind of hangout tonight. So thanks for coming to hang out with us and bring all the questions. I can guarantee
they're going to be.
I can guarantee that we'll answer anything, but I can't guarantee that I will answer them honestly.
All right. So actually, I have a question for both of you to start this off.
Okay.
Because my work team did a really cool conference last week, and we did some icebreakers.
Oh boy, are you gonna follow this up with like trust falls or something like that?
No. So
I would be very easy in a trust fall because I weigh nothing.
There was the one caveat that
Vito with one hand.
There was the one caveat that my team said is that we couldn't touch each other because we're not there. So so the first question that we actually had an interesting somewhat argument about is a hot dog a sandwich?
You know, Terry Dolan asked me this question one time.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, he asked me that. He asked me the same question too, and I think we had opposite answers.
Yeah. Is a hot dog a sandwich? I'm gonna go with no.
What?
I don't remember what it was.
It's like I don't know who you are.
I don't remember what my answer was before, but I'm gonna go with no right now. I'm feeling the no on the hot dog sandwich question.
You're sleeping in the guest room because that's the wrong answer.
What? I mean,
here's my understanding. Okay, so a sandwich is traditionally two pieces of bread and a filling.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Meat betwixt two pieces of bread.
Lord have mercy.
So, another variant of a sandwich is the cross cut. So you just kind of it's a hinge bun, right? That is still considered a sandwich. So a hot dog bun does the V. You just turn it on its side and then you fill it with meat and other things. So by that basic logic, a hot dog is a sandwich.
You know what, Vito? You're my favorite.
You're my favorite too, Gretchen.
So is a pita a sandwich or like
No, pita is not because it's not open.
Sometimes it is though. If they cut it,
but you wrap it up yourself.
No.
We have a restaurant. It used to be called Verts. I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah, but like a doner kebab kind of thing where they slice.
Oh, that's different.
And then, but I mean, it's bread, but then it's filled with.
That would be an open face sandwich at that point.
That's actually what somebody said in the chat. It's an open face sandwich.
Open face?
Yeah.
Yeah, John Gonzalez said open face sandwich. Thanks,
Yeah.
John. I read it like it was.
It's just a sandwich just without the topper.
I think, I mean, but this is just obvious.
With ketchup. It has to have ketchup, right, Vito?
That is
ketchup and mustard.
Always very optional.
Josh, I'm going to bring a bottle of ketchup and douse you in it in October.
So I have a funny story.
I don't even care if you hate me afterwards. It's going to be hilarious.
I'm kind of turned on by that, to be honest.
Oh my god.
It's like not only is it messy and stuff and sticky, but it's also slightly humiliating. So
just shameful. Oh god, it feels so dirty and sticky.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to think about this. So funny story. We went out to dinner last week. Josh got a big promotion at work, and we went out for burgers. I guess it's the type of people we are. So we went out for burgers to celebrate, and it was fine. And he was sitting next to the ketchup bottle at our favorite burger place called Mighty Fine. For those of you there in Austin, you know what that is. And I said, "Can you pass me the ketchup?" And he looks at me and says, "No." And he keeps eating his meal and just stared at me.
That's just evil.
Yeah. And then I thought he was, and then I said, "No, really, I want the ketchup." And so he takes it with 2 hands and he throws it at me. And
I just noticed our friend Amum and Claimum Smokers just showed up in the chat. We met him at T. Roy Cook's crawfish boil.
Do you remember that much of that day?
I do. That was a lot of drinking that happened that day. So good to have you in, buddy.
All right. You guys ready for some serious questions?
I just want to quickly shout out Chris from Bourbon Sane. Chris from his channel, he's doing awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So go check out his stuff if you haven't already. But also, he's nearing close to 1,000 subscribers too.
Wow.
Dude.
So if you haven't already, show Chris some love. He's doing some great stuff. He's a friend of the channel. He's an awesome guy.
He's a Michigan.
Is it next? I think it's next Friday. I got to look at my calendar.
It's next Friday.
Next Friday, we're going to be on Chris's channel along with, I believe, Matt and Sarah and Will's channel, Whiskey Crusaders.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Matt sent him a bunch of Texas whiskey samples, so we're going to be hanging out and talking about all the Texas juice. Yeah, next Friday. There you go.
Yeah.
So one question that you guys have, I think you did it in your first episode, that the Sweet Tea 1985 asked. That's our friend Tim. Said, since he's fairly new, a little bit new to the channel, how did Josh, Brad, and Vito originally meet?
Originally meet? I mean,
so you knew Brad first, right? You knew Brad first.
Yes.
Well, he ditched us to go see Weird Al Yankovic the first time he was in town.
No, it's like I wanted to meet up, and then we had arrangements, and he had something come up, and then he reached back out to me, and I couldn't do it that day, and so we missed each other when he was in town here in Austin a while ago, and then
through the whiskey, it was through the Whiskey Tribe. We should
right, yeah, because Brad,
like we knew each other through that.
Yeah, and Brad's gone through the Wizard Academy program and all that to level 3 now.
The first time we met Vito was when we picked him up at the airport, and we knew exactly who you were.
That's true.
You and Mariachi, we just knew who you guys were.
I actually, we picked up Ray, and then we waited for Vito to get there, and we saw Vito walking down the concourse there, the baggage
claim.
And
we ran to him.
And I elbowed Ray, and I said, "Oh my God, he's smaller than I thought."
So you Brad and Josh had kind of hooked up together online and then met, and then I sort of sweezeled my way into Brad's life because he's 4 hours from me and I have family near him.
Right.
So hey man, I'm usually in Ottawa. Like, would you be down to kind of like, meet up and grab a drink or whatever? And that's how me and Brad started to become friends. And then I just got brought into the Galladay world because I knew Brad, and Gretchen reached out to me just before your birthday, Josh.
Yeah, that's how a lot of us met.
Right.
A lot of us. That's how the majority of our like small little group got hooked up, and it was all Gretchen's doing.
She brings people together.
She does,
basically.
And then we were online for months and months and months, and then we finally got a chance to meet at last August's Crowded Barrel opening.
That's right. Yeah, I feel like probably a lot of folks know this already, but maybe there's some new folks watching today. This whole concept of us even having a YouTube channel where we do silly things and talk about whiskey and do live streams talking to each other, because we were sitting doing this anyway. Yeah, because we live in different cities and all that stuff. So we'd hang out, once or twice a week and drink and talk whiskey and just kind of fuck around. And we thought, why don't we just do this, but like in front of other people on the internet for the hell of it.
Also, I guess we should all say, like, this was Gretchen's brainchild as well.
Wow.
True.
A lot of praise coming to Gretchen's way, but yeah, we have her to really thank for pushing us into doing this.
Yeah, Gretchen, she pushes things. Sure.
Normally buttons, but
buttons, buttons.
The barrel got pushed too.
So should we on with the questions?
Yeah.
So
Ian Wallerer from this morning, what's everyone's favorite whiskey from an obscure, lesser-known distillery? Josh, your answer can't be from Texas.
Ian Waller, first of all, how dare you? No, that's a good question. That's a good question. Favorite whiskey from an obscure or lesser known distillery? I can't pick Texas, so okay, fair enough. Why don't you go first, Vito, and I'll think about my answer.
Probably, honestly, if it's specifically distilleries and not sourcing and bottling, like a Compass Box or anything like that,
I'd say that's a fair qualification that it's an actual
distillery.
Yeah,
that makes things a lot harder. My favorite would be the Italian Puni distillery.
Right.
I've had two expressions of theirs, one aged only in ex-bourbon, one aged in Marsala and Isla casks. Mm-hmm. Both are very interesting. Both are very drinkable. It's a very young distillery, and it's Italian. I think there's only 2 active Italian distilleries right now. but not many people know about them. They would be my vote for what I have and what I've had.
Sure. Yeah, fair choice. I think I'd have to go, although I've got a lot of, there's a lot of smaller American distilleries I really dig, like Del Bach out of Arizona, Westland, you know.
I guess Keegan too, right?
That's going to be my pick because we've been there, we visited and spent time with those guys, and they showed us a great time. Had an awesome tour, and they make really, really great American single malt that's mesquite smoked.
Yeah,
really, really tasty stuff. So yeah, I'm going to say Santa Fe Spirits, who makes Colkegan single malt, would be my favorite. You know, obscure.
Next question. What is the plan for the big 1,000, which might be tonight?
No,
pressure.
Probably not. We're not that good.
Without Brad, we're nothing really.
I think with Brad, without Brad, we're getting more subs. Love you, Brad.
Brad, please come back.
What?
What is the plan? I mean, is the plan, is it revealed? Should we reveal it now?
It hasn't been revealed. Only a few people know about the plan, so we're going to keep it a secret. One thing that I will probably say is that we'll have something small for the day that we hit 1,000, but we're planning something else, and it may take a week or two after we hit 1,000 to arrange because of scheduling conflicts and everything. But there will be something big to celebrate the 1,000. We'll have everyone, you know, we'll notify everybody. But in the short term, we'll probably do like a small little stream the day of if we can arrange it to just thank everybody.
Yeah, I think so. Right when we roll over, yeah. But it's pretty cool. I think it's going to shape up to be. It's turning out well.
Yeah,
from what we've seen so far. So
Brad said he's unsubbing right now.
Of course he is.
That's usually what I do. I am subbed this week already. So I'm only here because it was on my. We actually have a joint. We have so much whiskey stuff going on that we have a whiskey work calendar and then a whiskey shit calendar that we share, and that's
she's not making that up at all.
Yeah. And then we have like 5 shared calendars.
It's true.
Patrick Cohn just said at 1,000, all 3 of us have to drink a dram from each bottle they own on a live stream. Brad would die.
Patrick, I thought we were friends.
Brad would die. Josh would pass out, and I'd explode.
I mean,
I think you're a ginger. Gingers have magical drinking powers.
I haven't counted in a while, but that's over 200. Like, you can't drink 200.
Somebody counted recently, and it's well over 200.
I mean, like a dram isn't a specific measurement.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about sort of the colloquial use of dram as a pour or the actual.
Could you do 50 ounces a night?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're good.
Wait, 50?
50 ounces.
Fuck no.
It's less than a bottle. You can do that.
I don't know about all that. Maybe I wouldn't die, but I would seriously regret that for a week.
Wait, then I get to give your whiskey away. Or I could use it as a dowry.
I'm not sure I like how excited that you sound about this right now. I could use
it as a dowry.
A dowry? Wow.
Jesus. All right, cool.
I will give you 6 head of cattle and a collection of whiskey in exchange for my daughter's hand in marriage.
All right, Gretchen, next question.
Okay. Ed O'Meara, our friend from Rotgut.
Rotgut Review. Ed, I'm going to be on the Ed show in a few weeks too. About 2 weeks.
I don't like this question, but whatever. How come you all are such kind-hearted, wonderful people? I feel I'm going to choke.
Yeah.
What you see on camera is not what you get.
Well, it's some of what you get.
Yeah, it's pretty yeah. Don't put on an act.
Why are we such kind-hearted, wonderful people? It's because the whiskey community is kind-hearted and wonderful to us.
Yes.
How about that?
That is number one. The whiskey community is a measure for every other community out there.
There you go. Exactly.
Next question from Sniper Mac. Vito, why do I deserve the bottle of what smelled like Windex? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I know what this is. That's why I had to hesitate when I read it.
why did he deserve that?
First of all, what is it?
Honestly, like why do I deserve the amount of shenanigans that befalls me? It's just I don't know. I just thought it was gonna be funny, and I laughed when you tried it. So mission accomplished on my end.
Right.
Next question.
Yeah.
Okay. Bottom shelf. Thoughts on pipe tobacco as a whiskey note?
Thoughts on pipe tobacco as a whiskey note. Now, I saw this conversation happening on Facebook earlier.
Yes.
So I understand what's motivating this question. I think it's a really good point that people will say pipe tobacco or cigar tobacco as a note in whiskey, but of course, in pipe tobacco and in cigar tobacco, there's a range of flavors as well. So he's suggesting, why wouldn't you be more specific? I think probably it's a fair tasting note for a lot of people that aren't as experienced or as knowledgeable about cigars or pipe tobacco. Like myself, I smoke cigars once or twice a week, depending. I'm not really that into cigars, so I really haven't developed that sort of a palate to be able to pick out particular notes and associate them with certain strains of tobacco or whatever, or blends of pipe tobacco. I never smoke a pipe either, really. So I do know what that kind of tobacco note smells and tastes like generally, though. So to my palate, it's either a little bit richer, oilier, darker, a little bit lighter and more, I guess, sort of nutty or dusty or something like that, but they all sort of taste like cigars. But I think somebody like Ray's got a whole lot more experience and time and has probably put a lot more education and into that, so he can pick out those things, just like with anything else, right?
We should have Ray back on for like a strictly tobacco night. I'd be down for it.
Dry week's got to be coming up soon, like really, because my liver hurts. So I'm sure that
dry week can't come.
It's got to start.
Please. Well, I mean, think about it too. And a lot of people that are really inexperienced or new to whiskey, you put nearly any whiskey in front of them, and they go, "Oh, well, that just tastes like whiskey," or it just tastes like alcohol, right? Mm-hmm. So, kind of the same thing. I think it's a fair tasting note, but it's also a fair point that tobacco is not one dimensional, right?
Right. It's very, very nuanced.
Right.
It can be nuanced if you put the time and effort into.
Right. You have to educate your palate in the same way as anything else. Mm-hmm. And Captain Make It Happen makes a good point. It's in the same vein as when people say stone fruit as a note. It's a generalization. And often, I mean, for me, when I say something like stone fruit, or I might say like dark fruits versus light fruits sometimes, because that makes sense to me, because it doesn't necessarily jump out necessarily as, that's exactly plum or that's exactly cherry. It's just kind of in that ballpark, right?
Well, one of the interesting things there is that you can use the blanket term in the short term, especially if you're building up a repertoire of notes, right? Because you can say like 6 months, one thing like stone fruits, and then 6 months later, you could probably identify which stone fruit more, right? If you revisit that whiskey. Because your all your senses just pick up everything a little bit better, especially if you have, let's say, what were we talking about? Plum fruits, stone fruits. What's a stone fruit? Pears, right?
No, it'd be something like with a hard pit in the middle.
Okay, so
like a plum.
Yeah. So like you can identify better if you build it, but as a blanket term, you can still use that, right?
Yeah, and peaches, would be a stone fruit, which tastes totally different from something that's dark and rich, right?
Yeah,
and from time to time, I will have something really strongly suggest a specific fruit or a specific spice or something like that, right? And then I'll say, oh, that's clove, or that's got so much red apple to it, not green apple, right? So it just depends on the whiskey. Sometimes it's just a kind of a vague fruitiness to me, and sometimes it's really specific.
Right.
So,
you guys ready for the next one?
Yeah.
This one's really interesting to me. and I think I know what your answer is.
Mm-hmm.
John Gunsel. By the way, get your ticket. You are coming on Saturday. Made a lunch reservation for you. In case of a fire, which 3 bottles would you say first from your collection?
Okay.
You need some time on this, Josh?
Vito lives in a basement, so he's just gonna die. He's just gonna surround himself.
No. See the benefit of the move that I did. I have an exit 5 feet away from me.
Okay, so you just take all of them out the door.
Yeah. But the 3 that I would bring with me, because Josh has way more to kind of go through. I'd bring my Glenfiddich Winter Storm, which is a 21-year Glenfiddich, and I'd bring my Glengoyne 21, and I would bring the newly acquired Cask Strength Josh Galladay.
Hell yeah!
Show the tater sticker.
Oh, there you go.
There's the tater sticker.
It's not gonna focus, obviously, because
I happen to have that right here as well.
Yeah.
So yes,
those would be my 3: the Cask Strength Josh Galladay, Iron Barrel Pick, BBC as it's
become
lovingly called,
known as the BBC pick,
and my 2 21-year-olds. Wait a minute, that came out wrong.
Hey, at least it's legal.
Yeah,
it's your
legal everywhere. So,
Josh, what are your top? I know what my top 3 would be. You want me to say what my top 3 would be?
Sure, go ahead.
Mine are sentimental, so I will pick the barrel pick as well. I also am a little bit of a fan of Iron Root.
Fangirling.
Oh, fangirl. I also have a bottle of Icarus signed by Nancy Fraley. With To Us that I got signed at Still Austin, which thank you to Still Austin for still allowing me in your distillery when I brought another distillery's bottle in to get signed. And then I will take the first bottle of Eleanor that Rex drew a dick on.
Yes, Rex drew a dick on it, and Daniel drew a Ninja Turtle.
Ninja Turtle. So mine are all sentimental picks.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess I would do the Iron Root barrel pick as well, but everybody's already said that already.
You can do it.
So
you would save it.
Yeah, I mean, I would save at least one of those. I'd save my Balcones Masterclass blend. And what else is like sort of irreplaceable here? I don't know.
Canadian Hunter?
Yeah. That's sentimental. You should have saved that one, Gretchen.
I don't know about all that. Canadian Hunter, although it was
it might protect the other ones.
It wasn't as bad as Canadian Mist.
It wasn't as bad as a Texas whiskey. I will not mention that I had to shoot last night because the 2 gingers I was with refused to drink it.
Yeah,
we'll leave that off for Cask Strength After Dark.
That's right. That's right.
It's bad. They made me shoot it.
Well,
Jeremy Sim says, "Grab Ella. She's not a whiskey."
Well, but yeah,
she's already out the door.
In this scenario, we're assuming Ella's already safe.
She's already out.
She's way ahead of you guys. She's already outside waiting. Why are these people taking so long?
Yeah, she's good.
And I guess what would be the last one?
Green Spot, maybe.
No, I don't know if it would be the Green Spot single cask.
The Texas Whiskey Festival blend?
Yeah, that's a good choice because you're never going to get that again either. The Texas Whiskey Festival blend.
Yeah, good choices. Yeah. Good choices.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion.
Gretchen?
Sorry. Next question from Renita. She is coming with us.
Renita, I don't know if she's watching here, but
and she also got to do the barrel pick for the Texas Whiskey Trail at Garrison.
She did. Yeah. So the 5 people won a sort of a raffle type thing to go to Garrison Brothers and do a single barrel pick for the Texas Whiskey Trail. And so you text in a code to enter, and when they announced the 5 winners, I was like,
we knew all of them.
Well, no, I knew 3 of the 5. So Renita, our friend Jason Abram, and Daniel Brower all won. So what was Renita's question?
What is one bottle that you were prepared to not enjoy, but then were surprised to find you want another bottle of it?
Prepared to not enjoy.
I don't know if I've ever approached a whiskey that way.
Yeah.
I try to approach any whiskey, with some openness.
Yeah, I always think, let's see what redeeming. I've definitely expected to enjoy a whiskey and then found that I didn't.
Yes,
it's kind of the opposite of the question.
Yes,
but
yeah, because I think we've kind of answered it. Because like minus Canadian Hunter, Canadian Mist, and other atrocities of that realm of whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did not like. I'll say I didn't go into a Canadian Mist expecting I'm gonna be blown away by this. I was like, let's get this over with, and it is exactly that.
Now, maybe if you ask that same question in a slightly different way, but I think this is still in the spirit of the question, is what bottle did you find to not live up to the hype? So your expectations were high, and maybe you didn't hate it, but you found it was just not deserving of the excitement.
Oh, I can like right away. Lefroy Glore.
Lefroy Glore, all right.
Right away. Like it got hyped up. I went to the bar like a couple of weeks after, like reading reviews and whatever. Got to the bar. I think I paid like $25 or something for an ounce and a half of it. And the moment I sipped it, I was like, damn, man, that is not worth half of what I just paid for.
We bought 4 bottles, so don't feel bad. We wound up giving them away.
4 bottles?
Yeah, we had 4 bottles. Remember, because we went to Total Wine, the White Walker?
Oh, White Walker.
Yeah, because we went to Total Wine and they put a limit on us, even though they didn't have a sign, so we got angry.
I didn't really have
spite. We got more.
I didn't really have super high expectations for White Walker, but I figured it would be okay, and I didn't think it would be as bad as it was for me. But yeah, I often feel that way about the allocated, sought-after bourbons. Often, not always. Some of those are pretty dang good, but stuff like I have a bottle of Elmer Tea Lee up here that I found in a store and paid regular price for. It was, no big deal. I didn't pay through the nose for it, but I know that's something that people will pay big money for. And it's good. It's fine, but I don't see what the big deal is, to be honest. A lot of those. So I'll grab them if I see it in the store just to give it a try, just to say that I've had a bottle of it and spent some time with it. But it's always a little bit of a letdown for me with those kind of things.
Yeah, I can agree as well. Like, what was it that we tried? The Pappy?
Yeah, I've had all the Pappy except and the Van Winkle ones, except for the 15-year-old. That's the only one I haven't had.
The one that Brad got was
23.
Like, it was great.
Yeah,
but like,
I mean, it's like liquid oak.
So I hear if you put a splash of Diet Coke in it, it makes it better.
I don't know about better.
All right, next one.
This is a hard one. You guys ready?
I'm always ready for something hard. Wait, whoop. Whoops. Go ahead.
It's like having little brothers.
I gotta pour another whiskey first.
Yes, so do I. I'm empty. What are we doing?
Yeah, so I had the Teeling small batch. I'm going to. I think I'll save the Iron Root for whenever you want to try it here.
That actually is a question coming up because Carl Ivy asked it in the chat. He wanted to know about your barrel pick. So why don't you guys pour that while I ask the next question?
I mean, I was hoping to save mine for when Brad was around.
Well, I mean,
Brad is here in spirit.
It will still be there when Brad is around if you have any self-control.
I mean, I'm surprised I haven't opened that already. I wonder if Brad's even in the chat still. If he's not in the chat, I think I might just open it.
Bourbon Sane says go to a bourbon. So I've only got one. Oh, no, we've got 2 bourbons today. I've got that Early Times down here that
I just drank you rare. So
okay.
Okay, you guys ready? While you guys decide, ready? It's a serious question, Vito. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready. I'm going to open it.
Ready as it'll ever be. You're really going to build up on this one.
Go. And before I pour, I ask the question.
What do you prefer in a peanut butter, smooth or crunchy?
Crunchy.
Wow. I don't even know you people anymore.
I mean, 100%. It's a texture thing.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. It's all texture. I'm right with you, Josh.
There you go.
Yeah, y'all fist bump it out, whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna open up the blend.
open it up and discuss the barrel pick. And in some exciting news, I guess, can we share what we're doing in October? Is it too soon?
I guess not. I don't know. That doesn't matter.
With
Iron Root.
Oh, with Iron Root? Yeah.
So, because I like to schedule things and coordinate things, we are actually going to be doing another barrel pick with Iron Root in October. The channel is we are going to do a Revolution barrel this time.
Right, because this was the Evolution barrel, which is the same barrel bottled at 3 different ages and just sort of released over time. But the Revolution barrel.
Revolution
barrel. No, you said it right.
Oh, okay.
You said it right. What is the Revolution barrel?
I just said yes while we were drinking. I don't remember the rest of it.
I see. Revolution barrel. So what they'll do is you'll pick a single barrel, just like with this one, but they will then take that barrel and divide it among up to, I think it was 5 or 6 is what Robert said, up to 5 or 6 different finishing casks. So you can pick a barrel of bourbon or whatever, I suppose, right? And then put some in a port cask, some in a Sauterne cask, some in a sherry cask, whatever, right? Whatever they have available, and divide it however you want. So the same exact barrel finished multiple different ways.
So the cool thing is, and Vito and Brad, I'm very happy to say we're able to do this. We're actually going to drive up and pick them up in Dallas-Fort Worth. They're going to fly down together. Our friend
we're on the same plane too.
Yeah, our friend Patrick Cohn is going to come into town, and he's kind of agreed to help us out. And then we're going to take a long road trip. We're going to drive up to Iron Root and get drunk with Jonathan and Robert in the barrel room. And then Marshall will kick us all out with oyster crackers.
So totally agree with Jeffrey Patron and John V. Madeira cask, if there's one available. Hell yeah. Yes, that needs to happen. So we'll see. We'll see if there's Madeira available. I find that almost anything Madeira cask finished, I've really, really loved.
Too bad Robert's too busy to hang out with us tonight, or else we could get him to agree to that.
Yeah, he's a busy man.
Yeah.
Yo, this is great.
So you guys want to talk about that?
Yes.
So you get the sweet dustiness of the corn, right?
Yeah.
But there's some darkness underneath it that I can't identify quite right. But there's a it says it on the thing, but I was hesitant about actually getting creme brulee, but more just like a burnt custard almost.
Yeah, like what makes creme brulee more than anything?
Like
burnt sugar top, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was referring to, is it's like a super caramelized, crunchy sugar kind of thing, but also with the fruitiness.
But that's hot at 122.
It doesn't smell hot though.
Right, it doesn't. And that's what's surprising to me, because my sweet spot is usually 100.
I'm getting like a premium plus cracker. Like a dry salty cracker smell as well.
Okay.
I guess that's probably more in the dustiness category.
Yeah, sure, that makes sense. So this is got bloody butcher corn as the sort of flavoring grain, whereas the rest of it, I think it was 95% yellow corn and then 5% bloody butcher.
This is really nice on the nose.
Isn't it? And as you leave it open for a little bit, we've had ours open since we got it. It really, really opens up a lot more.
Yeah. The thing that jumped out to me about this barrel in particular, because I tried several other barrels, at least 1 or 2 that were exact same run off the still. And this one just had a slight smokiness to it, and not like a peat, not at all like a peat, but like a campfire wood smoke. Just as just a hint of that in the background.
I'm getting like a weird, it's not a chocolate.
Oh, Brad's here. Brad's here, you guys. Stop talking about Brad. Just came back. He's going to be mad now.
Oh, Brad, it's so good. If only you had one of your bottles. Oh wait, I have your
Oh
bottle.
no, chocolate covered raisins.
Well, I could see that.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I need some more.
I could
gotta
see that. I could see that. Chocolate covered raisins.
Like
No,
a raisinette?
yeah, no chocolate covered raisins. Yeah.
It always reminded me of a like a
Mhm.
cooked and concentrated raspberry, like if it was a dark raspberry sauce
Okay.
with the
Yeah,
cream.
yeah. Like a reduction. Yeah.
Yeah, like a reduction to where it's not. It doesn't taste like super fresh. It tastes like cooked down. You know.
Yeah. All right.
So
I'm gonna taste this now.
So this is barrel one,
Right.
or
bottling
one, and we've got 2 more evolutions coming. And when will those be coming out?
The next evolution will probably be in about 6 months to 9 months, and it's just one where I'm going to have to rely on the Iron Root guys to be tasting it periodically and say, okay, it's awesome right now, and it's definitely changed from what it was before.
Yeah.
So
We have a lot of plans to be up there in the next couple months too. So
yeah,
Getting a waffle.
I could see that, like waffle with maple syrup on it.
yeah.
Yes.
For me,
in it because like I'm getting other things that are very typical, but at the same time I was like, what is this weirdness that I'm tasting? Yeah, it's like a waffle, like a extra cooked,
Like a cooked malty batter.
Yes.
Jose Martinez said like milk duds.
Yes.
Yeah, like almost like when you go into an ice cream shop that's making ice cream cones.
Yes, and they're making the fresh waffle cones.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
I wanted to open up a little bit more because it seems a little bit too together right now.
Sure, and I've found it's one that's even set it aside, like let it sit for a few minutes, and then every time you keep coming back to it, for me at least, I'm like, oh, that's fruity, and take a sip and set it down, and then that's actually more of like a caramel sugar kind of thing. Oh, now it tastes a little bit smoky, and oh, now I'm getting all these baking spices. It's like every time I revisit it, it's slightly different, which is one of the reasons I picked it. Right?
Yeah,
it's got tons of complexity to it.
Yeah. Do you want to do another question?
Yeah, Teresa Smith had a good one that I think oh, here it is. What's your favorite finishing cask or style? Not specific.
Oh, that's interesting.
Favorite finishing cask? Yeah, like I said, pretty partial to Madeira a lot of times. I've had the Kilhoman Madeira cask is great. The Del Bach Distiller's Cut that's got some Madeira finish stuff in there is awesome. I've had some tastes of Balcone single malt finished in Madeira that's not quite ready yet, but it's tasting like it's going to be great once it spends a little more time. Yeah, it seems like everything that gets put into Madeira I really love. I can, heavy sherry like the new Andalusia Striker that was in PX Sherry, if that's done right.
I'm so glad they didn't bottle that, because we were there 2 weeks ago with Matthew Wright and Josh Madeira from Still Austin joined us, and they gave us samples of it, and we thought they should bottle it then, and then we went on Sunday when Robert was in town, and I was so glad they didn't bottle it yet.
Yeah.
Because it just got better in 2 weeks.
Also French oak. French oak for sure.
The only one that I can kind of relate, but
yeah. Yes, John V. Balcone's Madeira. It is sorcery.
It's magic.
I've been able to try a couple of cask samples from that when I've been up there. Just hey, here's something we've got aging. It's not quite ready yet, but what do you think? And one of the samples in particular, I was like, man, you could bottle this right now. But what about you, Vito?
I guess for the more common bottles, it would have to be Oloroso. I really just enjoy what it gives to specific whiskeys. But what's interesting and what's starting to gain a little bit of traction with me is the Marsala cask finishes.
Okay, yeah.
So I've had 3, and I should say 2, because I can't consider the Puni one a finish because it was aged in Marsala then finished in Isla casks. But like the Bruichladdich, the Port Charlotte MC01, which is an Isla, heavily peated Isla, finished in the Marsala, is just absolute dynamite.
Yeah, and that's not a super common. You don't see a lot of that.
It's not, but there's a couple of distilleries that have recently put out a couple. They're escaping me right now, and I don't know why, I can't remember. But there's two that just came out with one. But they're not common, and I think just because, as you saw Daniel Whittington react on the Puni one, it does give like a green stringy vegetal note.
Okay. Yeah.
It's got that garden umami punch of like fresh vegetables and vine fruits and vine veggies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But it also has like, if you don't like stringy vegetalness, you might not like it. Now, in the PC MC01, you don't really get that as much, but it is there slightly.
Sure.
But I really like that. Asparagus is one of my favorite vegetables. So like stuff like that doesn't bother me. So I'm very partial to the Marsala. I guess also my upbringing didn't really, come into factor at all there. But yeah, see, Teresa just said the Tullibardine. The Murray Marsala. That's one of the ones that I was trying to remember, and obviously I can barely pronounce it written, looking at it right there. But yeah, for common stuff, Oloroso. For harder to find stuff, Marsala.
Sure.
So I'm gonna get ready to do my next pour, but I wanted to show Vito what I'm pouring out of.
Oh, look at that Vito size Glencairn.
Yeah. I don't know why we got that from Iron Root.
If you put it next to Vito, it would just look. It would look regular.
In your hand, it would look so huge. And then I'm gonna pour some.
Were you not doing phrasing anymore?
No more phrasing. No more.
Archer. When is the next season Archer gonna come out? I'm actually gonna pour some Iron Root Esoteric because Patrick Cohn said he's almost out. And friend, I've got 2 bottles, so whenever you wanna fly down, I bought some new guest towels tonight.
I'm gonna ask a question from the chat, if that's okay.
Sure.
So Chris from Bourbon Sane asks, if you could recommend one single Texas whiskey to introduce someone to what Texas whiskey is all about, what would it be?
I got a good one.
That's a great question.
I can answer that really quickly if you don't.
My answer, first I'm going to answer the question as asked. What would be one that I think is kind of a core representation of what Texas whiskey is sort of all about, and that would be Balcones single malt. But if it was towards somebody that is specifically a bourbon fan, if they like traditional Kentucky bourbon as their thing, I would probably go a different direction. I would either go with Iron Root Harbinger, or I would go with maybe Promethean.
Promethean would be my suggestion.
Sure,
because both you can find you get at Total Wines too.
No, Promethean's only in Texas.
Oh,
but
right.
Either Iron Root Harbinger, or I'd say Balcones True Blue 100. Even though that's not a bourbon, it has a lot of like just sort of vanilla, and it's got some bourbon notes to it, but it is definitely a different thing. So
yeah, because you gave me the first Texas whiskey that I tried was the single malt that you pulled down. That was the first thing that I tried at your place.
Yep.
And that blew my mind.
Yeah,
that blew my mind. And then we did a Balcones True Blue. I don't remember if it was the 100 though.
Yeah, might have been the cask strength. I
think it was a cask strength. Because then we went to the rye, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you did try the rye.
Yeah. So yeah, the single malt, especially for a predominantly Scotch drinker, I think the Balcones single malt would be the one that I would recommend, even though that I don't have it. I have a sample, but it's a store pick, so I don't really count that.
The pot still's pretty good too, and for the price point,
the pot still's good.
At 25 to 28, that's a great pick.
It's well done as like a great price point, and if I'm going to bring something to a party, I assume the context of the question is somebody's a whiskey drinker, but they haven't tried much Texas. Balcones pot still to me is if you're going to a party where it's not a bunch of whiskey people, but you're going to bring something for folks to try that's not going to be too sort of over the top. Or intense or complex that might put them off, then I'd go that direction. Yeah. The pot still bourbon, because it's just lower proof. It's pretty easy to drink. It kind of reminds me of pecan pie a little bit in the flavor profile. So yeah.
What does your cup say? Is that one of our cups?
No, it's the cup Brad got me. It's day drinking from a mug to keep things professional. It's my water mug.
Okay, you guys ready for more questions?
Indeed.
All right.
Also, the pick is opening up real good.
Put a little bit of water in it if it's too hot for you.
No, it's not
Water.
Honestly, I'll be honest. It's not as hot as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And it's high proof.
It is nice. Like it is real good. I'm gonna take Brad's rating scale. It's real good.
Real good.
Real good.
So Patrick Baloney, just because I like to say it.
Patty Baloney.
What is the whiskey you mooch that your significant other, oh boy, knows nothing about?
Ooh. I don't have that problem.
Single life. The whiskey you mooch that your significant other knows nothing about. I don't know. I don't know that I have any secret whiskey mooches. Surely I've tried something and just haven't. I mean, like, did you know that I had some 3-year-old Springbank independent bottling?
So are we talking about like mooching, like you bought it at the store and you didn't tell me?
No. Mooching I take to be that you befriended somebody and got them to give you a free pour of something.
Oh.
I understood it as like you having a mooch friend that mooched a bottle from you that you don't want your significant other to know about.
Mooched a bottle from me. I've given people bottles when it like wasn't my thing, but it was something they liked. So, man, I don't know how to answer that question.
I don't have to answer this question.
That's a hard one. I can't answer it because I don't have a significant other. So
I'm going to refrain from answering. I don't want to sleep in the guest room tonight. I didn't wash the sheets yet.
I guess.
So,
what experience with whiskey made you know? This is from Sweet Tea, our friend up at Fort Hood. Cast strength. What experience with whiskey made you know that it was a drink and people wanted to hang around with? And people you wanted to hang with. I'm sorry.
I have that answer right away.
Go ahead.
Lefroy Quarter Cask.
Oh snap!
That was. I got invited. So that was the whiskey. Lefroy Quarter Cask. It was the whiskey that said to me, "Now you like whiskey." I had it. A friend of mine invited me over to his place, and he's like, "I want a Scotch, buddy. Can you come and try some Scotch?" I was like, oh, "Okay, fine." Like whatever. And so I got there, and he had Bamore 12, Glenlivet Founders Reserve. Both I didn't like. Especially we started with the Bamore, and I was like, "Nah, I don't like this." The Glenlivet Founders Reserve, I still to this day do not like. And the Lefroy Quarter Cask was like, "Damn, this is good." And me and my buddy had like a long conversation about that whiskey and about like what you're tasting and stuff like that. And that was like, at that point, I was like, "Oh, I like this experience. I like drinking this. I like talking about it. It's now going to be. I'm going to make it a thing now." And I out stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna ban John G in a minute again. So his question, actually, Vito actually knows the answer to this question because it always happens when I'm around him.
Hold on, wait. Josh didn't answer the question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, just go ahead. Whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
You just let me know.
I'm ready.
You done?
I don't want to know your answer.
Are you done?
I don't care.
Okay.
God damn.
I'm going to say probably the thing that I had slowly gotten interest in whiskey a little bit, but I think my first trip to Balcones was probably the thing that hooked me, and it was Brimstone. Yeah, I remember I'd like, holy shit, I've never had anything like this before, and I'd tried Lefroy and a few other things.
We used to have money before we discovered Balcones.
No, but we went to the Magnolia Silos up there in Waco, and then I said, "Hey, there's this distillery down the street I'd like to check out." We'd been to Garrison Brothers and I think Andalusia before then, and so I was like, "Oh, this is cool. I'm going to get interested in this." But Then I tried Brimstone there in the tasting room for the first time, and I can remember walking down the street texting people, going, "Holy shit, this tastes like brisket whiskey. I don't even know what this is. This is amazing. It's so interesting." So,
and that was, gosh, what, a year ago? A little over a year ago.
it was a little more than that.
Yeah.
Almost 2.
Yeah.
Next question.
So John G's question is for me. What was the most you've mooched from the cabinet behind you or Brad's box that Josh doesn't know about? In my defense, I've never mooched anything out of Brad's collection.
It's true.
Or Patrick's collection without asking them first.
That's a professional mooch right there.
Yep.
That is. But I'm just gonna say Pebbles has had some moments. Pebbles has had some moments when Josh has been out of town. I think the last one when you were up in Dallas, and then you wound up going up to Iron Root and getting into shenanigans and not coming home that night.
Yep.
And Vito and Brad and a couple of the guys on Google Hangouts kept Pebbles company. And I don't think Josh realizes how much of the Ardbeg drum I had.
Looking a little low. It's looking a little low.
And there were a couple of screenshots that may exist of me somewhere, maybe drinking out of a bottle of Iron Root because things happened.
Gretchen's just purring like a whiskey-filled kitten.
I
love that phrase.
Too late to get a glass. So anyway, yeah.
Here's a kind of interesting question. Any plans on visiting Scotland from Eric Waite?
100%, absolutely, yes. I'd do it tomorrow if I had the time.
We were supposed to go this year. But
those plans fell through so quick.
Well, the channel came about, and we needed to buy equipment for the channel and things like that. So
life is life.
Yeah, it's on the schedule. We'll be in Arizona December 2nd, going to Dahlbach, or the first week in December, going to Dahlbach. So that'll be interesting. We're going to start doing some more traveling outside of Texas. Most of our distillery tours have been in Texas.
Yeah.
And there's still a couple we want to hit, like Lone Elm and Tawakaro and the ones in Houston. We want to do all of them on the trail.
Yeah, I want to go to Kentucky and stuff too. But, the highest priority for me is Scotland and Ireland.
Yeah.
Just because, I'm so much more of a malt whiskey guy than a bourbon guy overall.
Plus, Josh would fit in with his people.
Yeah, that's true.
You wouldn't have to hide from the sun.
My gingers.
Okay.
We'll figure it out, but there's definitely intent. I want to go back so bad. But
maybe we'll make
you can even see it. I put up my favorite photo.
Yes.
Scotland.
Yes, the bagpipes photo.
Did
Yeah.
you actually play bagpipes, Vito?
What's that?
Did you actually play the bagpipes?
No. It's after 11 o'clock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, your time, yes. My time.
Just barely.
I'm not. I don't like blowing things.
For the mother.
I mean, if you get paid enough, will you?
I mean, the amount will definitely. And Jason Unsworth, yes, Edinburgh was amazing. I love that city. That city's fantastic. It's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
All right, from John V, because I'm not going to butcher his last name because ours gets butchered enough.
Mm-hmm.
What's a whiskey you're dying to get your hands on but haven't yet?
Ooh.
That's hard when you have Brad as a friend.
Yeah, that is very hard.
It's really tough.
Yeah, what am I dying to get my hands on but haven't yet? I don't know. I look for weird things now, like not weird, but just I look at things like independent bottlings and stuff now a lot when I go into stores, right? So those are sort of there's so few of each individual independent bottling, right, that it's hard to like lust after a particular one. I would say maybe if something that's a little more sort of normal branded than that, maybe some of the Compass Box that's a little more rare would be pretty cool. Like, oh, you know what? that 3-year-old deluxe, because I think that's such an amazing idea that they took super old whiskey and put a tiny amount of 3-year-old whiskey in there to have the 3-year-old age statement on the label.
I'm gonna have to piggyback on Brad's answer. Dreamcast 20. I really want to try that.
That's a great answer.
Having tried the 32, I'd be very interested to see if the Dreamcast 20 lives up to the Dream hype.
Yeah.
If I don't know, I haven't actually heard any reviews about it yet, but I hope it's worthy of the name Dream Cask.
Right.
Because the 32 was literally like fulfilling my dreams.
Still haunts my dreams, in fact.
Oh. Vito, what was the best whiskey you had on your trip to Asia?
I saw Teresa ask that. And I was hoping that I wouldn't have to answer that because my answer sucks. Ardbeg 10.
Are you serious?
Honestly, every bar that I went into, there was no interesting Japanese whiskey that they would let me buy. Like I saw a Hibiki 17 and like other like rarities that I haven't had that I was like, I want to try it, but they were like, nope. We can't sell you this. It's out. We're not selling it. Okay. So I ended up with Yochi 12, Nika 12, just like basic stuff that was like, okay, like it's good, but it's like the Nika pure malt that I have here is better than any of the other things that I tried from like Yamazaki or the other Nika based spirits that I tried in Asia. So like, there was nothing that I tried that was strictly Japanese that I was like, oh, this is really good.
John G wants to know why you didn't film anything.
I mean, you were with a group of friends and stuff, right? It was a vacation.
Yeah, that was very much a friend trip. Like, I wanted to escape for a day to Yamazaki distilleries when I was in Kyoto. But then we ended up making friends and it just didn't work out. And then from Osaka, I was like, okay, I didn't get to do it in Kyoto. Osaka was the next city, and Osaka is the same distance from Yamazaki as Kyoto. Right. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go, I'll try to go on the Sunday morning, right? Well, Sunday morning came and we decided the night before that we're going to go to Kobe and have legit Kobe beef.
Ooh, hell yeah.
And that sort of trumped any whiskey plans because, goddamn, like I'm getting excited thinking about it. Kobe beef is so freaking delicious.
Yeah,
and it was way worth it. Like it was like there was no regrets. Like I'd happily skip out on Yamazaki again to go have some Kobe beef in Kobe. It was.
Learned as Vito likes hot beef.
Who doesn't?
Hot, juicy, well-marbled beef.
Beefu. That's how they say it. The beefu.
Eric made a comment in there that he really wants a bottle of Balcones Hechiceros.
Oh, that's hard to get now. No, that was a limited.
Perhaps you can find them on the shelf.
Eric, give me a shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can find them still. Yeah. They're still around. They're slowly disappearing from stores, but they're still around.
Yeah.
Do we have any other questions?
We do.
Okay, let's go. Like, what time is it? Hold on. It's yeah, okay, let's keep going. Okay, so one more question, and then anybody that's a Patreon of Training C, I know they had a live stream going tonight for Patreon viewers only. I don't want to overtake them. So if you guys are patrons of Training C, dip out, go support those guys. They're doing great things as well. If you're not patrons of them, feel free to stick around. I think we'll just keep on going for a little bit longer until Gretchen says enough's enough.
Yeah, until Gretchen says, I'm tired, go to bed, get out of my house.
But you live here.
Right. I just assume you'll be telling me that at some point.
You pay the bills.
All right, let's go. Next question.
All right. If you had to book in 2 bookers starting the night and another to end the night, how lost would you be? I actually have a funny story.
We've told that story so many times.
So I actually have a funny story about that. So I was the designated driver last night. We went to 7 Grand. By the way, anybody that's in Austin, 7 Grand has half off Texas whiskey night.
Yeah, we went to 7 Grand
Tuesdays.
for the Texas Whiskey Festival. Yes. Texas Tuesdays at 7 Grand, half off all the Texas whiskeys. And
Jake Clements does.
Yeah, I hadn't made it down there on a Tuesday night yet because a lot of times they're cool events and stuff where they bring in reps that are on Wednesdays often. So usually I hadn't made it down there for Jake's happy hour yet. The one day we make it down there.
And bring a guest.
The one day I make it down there, I clicked, that I was going on Facebook and I get a message from Jake saying, "Oh, I saw you're going, and this is the one day I'm not going."
Yeah.
He was in New Orleans.
And we actually brought Robert with us since he was hanging out in town. He had never been and wanted to meet the GM. And
yeah. So it was a great time. We'll catch Jake next time.
I actually had the Texas. We all had for the first time the Texas Texas bourbon.
TX bourbon. We did try that. But they have a single barrel pick of Balcones single malt right now. Good. That has this crazy. Do you know the term Rencio?
No, but explain it because I may have heard it before.
So it's something that's often used like in things like cognac.
Okay, then no.
So it can mean like a earthy, like slightly funky. It's a weird thing, but what I got out of the Balcones single malt that was the total wine, the 7 Grand barrel pick was like a roasted shiitake mushroom. It was like just an undercurrent under all the sort of like caramel, apple, and baking spice and things like that are in there. It had this like rich, earthy, mushroomy, like umami type flavor that reminds me of like mature cognac and stuff.
Yeah, haven't. We have to try that.
Yeah, man. I've got one more pour here too.
What are you pouring? Because I need another pour, but I'm empty.
So are you guys going to talk about Kathleen's batch?
Bookers.
So funny story though, designated driver decided to blind taste the guys when we got back, and neither one of them could get Kathleen's batch.
No,
I think that bottles.
Do I have any Kathleen's batch left?
I think it's good, but I think that our bottle.
I really like that one.
Something's wrong with our bottle.
No, the bottle's fine.
Or were you guys just drunk?
No, well, we had some drinks, but at the same time, I had a cast strength Blackadder. So super heavily peated. Had some Kalila and something else, I forget. But I'd had all this peat. Oh, and the Cole Keegan we had. So I had super heavy peat and also mesquite smoke. And then you're like, here, identify this blind. I'm like, it's definitely bourbon. I will tell you that.
I love stumping you guys. It's so much fun.
So what I have here is Carl Ivey. Carl Ivey, when he was in town a little while ago, brought the Kilkerran Sherrywood bottle here. So thank you again, Carl. I'm pouring a little bit of this.
Oh boy, I'm actually.
He's still in the chat.
I'm actually down to hear your notes on it because I love Kilkerran. I've had 2 expressions, that 8-year cast strength and a 12-year, and both have been wonderful. So I'm curious to see how that sherry affects it.
Yeah, and I saw a brand new one. It's the first bottling of a heavily peated Kilkerran that I picked up the other day. That's pretty good. I've only tried it once so far. I got it like 2 weeks ago or something. But they're coming out with some cool stuff.
I'm gonna pour myself a little bit of Macure Bay.
Oh, okay.
Just because I don't know how much more I can these damn childproof locks on these. These are Brad bottles too. Like these are Brad sample bottles. What is this?
Oh, they're like medicine, like cough syrup bottles.
Yeah, like they're 4-ounce sample bottles. It's like, but they're child locked, which sucks for me because I'm a child.
Hey, at least you went there before I could.
Yeah, I've beaten you twice to it today. So, all right. Bookers. I've only had the Kathleen's batch, so I can't speak to this question.
If you had to book in two bookers, how lost would you be? I feel like I would simultaneously be lost and found.
Well, that's a very clever question. Next question.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all the questions.
That's all the questions.
That's all the questions.
Man.
But we could do like a Shag, Marry, Kill, or you guys could talk about what's coming up, because I mean I know that you guys have some collabs going on.
Yeah, we mentioned that briefly earlier.
You had a meetup over the weekend.
Oh yeah, we did host the first Whiskey Tribe meetup that wasn't a beta in Austin here, and it went pretty well. It was a good time. Met some good people. A great venue by our friend Ryan from Whiskey and Barbecue. He found a cool spot downtown. It's like a little speakeasy bar. That's a BYOB place. They serve beer, but they let you bring in your own whiskey or other liquor into the bar, and they just charge $10 a head. So yeah, that was a good time. Everybody brought a bunch of cool stuff, and we hung out for about an hour and a half, and then proceeded to go
Oh my God.
To two other bars.
We have drank every day for the last 6 days.
Yeah.
Teresa Smith asked, "Why is Campbelltown superior to Isla?" Teresa Smith, I'm no longer your friend.
Oh,
it's because
shots
Teresa.
fired.
Teresa, it's because of that funk. It's got the funk. That's why.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Campbelltown is very specifically good for what they do.
Yeah, Campbellton has it's like the Parliament Funkadelic mothership of Scotland.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ross Fudd wants to know, don't you guys like Octomore?
Octomore? I don't know about Octomore.
I mean, shit, yeah, I do. I like Octomore. It's not something I drink all the time, because not only is it like pricey, but it's also just going to totally demolish your palate.
Yeah, that's what it does,
But yeah, no, and you know,
I love
I've kind of reached a point where I appreciate like that's something that's sort of on the extreme in a few different ways. Like, it's very young and fairly like spirit forward, right? It hasn't been like matured out in a cask that long, but that's intentional to preserve how peaty and, you know, sort of punchy it is. Obviously the PPM and everything that we're talking about there, it's like, I don't always want the super intense experience. Sometimes I want something a little more subtle. So Octomore's great though, especially that 7.3. That's where it's at.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
It's okay, Vito. Eric Waite said he'll be visiting all 3 distilleries in Campbelltown.
But yeah, Octomore's great.
Hell yeah. Eric Waite's going to the Springbank, what is it, the distillery camp thing. I don't know what exactly they call it, but
something.
Yeah. That sounds like an amazing time. They basically put you to work for 5 days or something like that.
Okay, so Sweet Tea, your buddy there. For someone who loves heavy peat and strong flavors, what could help me in pulling flavors and notes from more sweet, heavy whiskeys and bourbon? It's my weak spot.
Tasting wheel. We actually went through this the other night. A tasting wheel.
Yeah, you can use things like tasting wheels, or like I've got one sitting right over here.
So we got put through Iron Root boot camp. Well, I did mostly for the last couple of days, and it was fun because we brought Robert and Josh brought the tasting wheel, and from Balcones we've got a tasting chart in our tasting room or in our conservatory, and then the Whiskey Smiths. They have an amazing sheet that really helped me out.
So there's the wheel style here where you can sit and try and pick out individual flavor types and stuff. And this is one example. There's a bunch of them that exist. That's kind of cool. Like, some people really like that, and you sort of form a shape for what, you know, where the particular whiskey lies on each axis of this wheel. Personally, I do really like the Whiskey Smiths version though, and that's Zach and Leanne Smith. Yeah. Zach being the vice chancellor of Wizard Academy now,
and that's free. We printed it off.
So it walks you through things like appearance, the nose, the palate, and the final assessment, and then a bunch of categories for each. So another thing that I find to be incredibly helpful with that is to set yourself up tasting trios, because lots of things become so much more obvious on the nose and the palate to you by comparison against something else versus just in isolation, right? So if you're just drinking a bourbon and you're trying to think about it, you'll get certain things. But if you put a bourbon and then a bourbon with a different mash bill and maybe a rye next to each other in a trio, then you can compare them and go back and forth side by side. And you can learn a lot that way about, oh, that's what makes something corn dominant versus something that's rye, right? And you can learn to identify like your markers and the way you interpret those smells and tastes.
I see someone close to us has joined the chat. Robert Licorice of
Hey,
hey Robert.
So I lost a bet to Josh, and I think we got Robert drunk, and he agreed to do a tasting of Canadian Mist and Canadian. Hey, Robert!
Oh, look at that.
Speaking of the devil.
How's it going, guys? I am about to jump in
Nice
in a
how.
second, so I will hang up here in a few minutes, but just finished up a dinner down here in McKinney. So.
Oh, is that at the Rye restaurant?
It is. It is. I have a special guest I'd like to introduce to everybody too.
Yeah.
Oh, Marsha! Hi, Mom.
How are you?
We're sitting here hoping not to get rained on with the lightning flashing, waiting for our home.
Oh no!
So we'll join you guys again officially here in a little bit. But I just want to stop in and say hello. So
awesome!
Hey.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Rob had a great time visiting with you.
Yeah,
Well,
we had a blast.
Thanks for letting us borrow him for a couple days.
You want him some more? No.
Sure, why not? I
Anytime.
mean, we both got home from work yesterday and were greeted with blind pours, so we'll take that any day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll let you guys continue on, but we'll join you here in a little bit. So.
All right.
Bye, Robert. Bye, Marsha.
Bye-bye.
little Iron Root cameo there all of a sudden.
Cameo. I love Mama Marsha. She's so sweet.
I can't wait to meet them in October.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? That.
Oh, we were talking about the tasting sheet,
tasting sheet.
and I noticed Teresa, she combined the tasting wheel with the sort of like the Whiskey Smith sheet, so you get the best of both worlds. Maybe I don't know exactly where you get Teresa's version, although I've seen it somewhere. I don't know where you go and download it from.
Teresa she can send us the link and we can post it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can definitely post it. We'll put it in the description below, and we'll share it on our platforms if that's cool. So separate from that, which is like really like tuned in and like professional. What I use, because I got into peat pretty much right away, and that was my wheelhouse for a while.
Right.
Truthfully, what I found more rewarding was buying whiskeys on recommendations, trying them, and then also at the same time, if possible, tasting with the people who recommended it or watching reviews. I know it's a little bit hard. It might be a little bit harder that way, just from having to purchase blind almost, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
But I found success doing that. Like I haven't taken any classes, any courses. I haven't even looked at a tasting sheet ever. But just drinking whiskey with friends who drink whiskey, and if they've had it, it just, even if they're not drinking the same thing, sometimes just what me and Josh were doing before when we were tasting the Iron Root barrel, where I was like, I'm sort of getting this, and Josh would kind of help clarify, and I was like, oh yeah, like that's totally what I was trying to get at, but my brain wasn't keeping up with what I was tasting. Is also a really good way of doing it if you don't want to go the route of more of like an academic approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That's a great way to go about it, because surely some like even if it really helps if you are drinking the same whiskey, but even if you're drinking different ones, and surely somebody's going to say a word or even just encourage you to dig a little bit deeper, right? So if Vito were drinking a whiskey and he would say it's kind of herbal, then I might say, well, what do you mean? Is it woody herbal that's sort of like resinous, like rosemary? Are we talking more floral, or something that's a little more of a citrusy herb?
So like when you have friends that are really more experienced in whiskey tasting and stuff like that, you don't necessarily have to go the route of tasting wheels and the like, but that is 100% a viable option. But if you have friends like I have Josh and Brad who are, a bit more experienced than I am, and if I'm vaguely describing something, they can help me narrow it down and they guide me that way. And it's a bit more fun that way too, for at least from my personality.
Yeah,
I find it a little bit more fun.
We actually did that the last couple of days. We were just sitting around, and that's when we got the Whiskey Smith. I'm trying to refine my palate. I would love to go to sommelier school, but I don't want to embarrass myself. And Brad said that when he went to level 3, somebody got the talking to by Daniel. So I'm very scared that will happen to me. So I'm trying to work up to going to sommelier level 1. So that was fun when we had a couple different whiskeys and what we were trying. We had the different tasting wheels, and it was fun to see what everybody was picking out and kind of guiding and what tastes herbal to you and what doesn't taste herbal, what are you getting. I actually poured some in my hand like Daniel does. And that's an amazing way to actually really get your nose into things and smell them.
A lot of people really like that, and that's like a classic technique to rub it. I always just end up smelling my hands and maybe like some hand soap though.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
You have to be careful because I didn't have hand sanitizer on my hands last night, and that didn't work out well. But otherwise, it was good. I liked it.
Eric Waite said that herbal means something a little different in California.
I'm sure it does. In Texas, it does not yet.
Not yet.
Although,
it depends on who you talk to.
CBD is now legal. Well, yeah, Austin.
It's legal in Canada.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we have great whiskey, so I'll trade you.
Yeah, I'm good with the whiskey.
Yeah, I'm good with whiskey.
All right, so it's 11:31, an hour and a half we've been going. Do we want to keep on going? Do we want to answer some more questions? Do we want to take off?
Are there more questions? We haven't really been watching the chat too closely because Gretchen has been.
Somebody's asking Robert. Eric's asking Robert questions. You guys can ask Robert your question about what you like asking about a sherry cask. Or the Madeira.
What?
No, what you guys are going to ask him about a special cask for the Revolution barrel.
Oh, if they had some Madeira. Cask.
Whiskey so maybe
What?
Maybe. Don't worry about it, okay? We up in Canada, we got some things cooking.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so if there's no more questions, let's get out of here. Okay, so what's coming up? We have the potential hitting of 1,000 subs. So if you guys haven't already, if you guys want to share that we're inching up to 1,000, we're more than happy to obviously you guys do that, and also welcoming new members to the community. It would be awesome. When we hit the 1,000, we'll keep you guys posted. Oh, hold on one second.
Sims is trying to come in.
Oh boy.
But
he's trying to crash the stream. He's trying to crash the stream.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this. He doesn't.
The mods are officially taking over. Josh is gonna fall off the chair.
We have an Aussie trying to get in. So what's coming up is on Tuesday, the 25th. I am going on Ed's channel, the Rock Gut Review, a live stream at 9 p.m. Central, and there's Jeremy upside down, as he should be.
The other mod.
And Jeremy's upside down because he's where, Jeremy? Muted.
He's muted.
I unmuted him.
It's better that way, Vito. Just
I don't know why his mic's up. I unmuted him. So,
well, he's upside down and silent, which is
there we go.
Oh,
hey.
All right. I was going to say there is one more question, which is the only reason I crashed it. Most of the time I was just there threatening Vito with it. Donald Rance asked, do you have a favorite rye?
Oh, fuck.
Favorite rye?
No.
Yeah, I'd say I probably do. Favorite?
Oh, Jeremy actually dipped to not. He asked.
I do. The Thomas H. Handy BTAC.
You would like a good handy.
Yes. Hey, I made that joke last night.
Sweet.
Yeah, no, actually, that's one of my favorites out of the BTAC, and I'm not normally a big rye whiskey fan. You know, I have some that I like, some are just okay, but it's definitely not a go-to for me. But for some reason, I really like that one. Booker's Rye. Yeah, actually, Eric Waite. Also, I'd say Booker's Rye. Although I've only had that once, and it was way late at night, but I did enjoy it. So
I worry about you and Booker's.
Yeah, that's fair.
You should worry about me and everything else when you're not here, though. Hashtag no context.
Yeah, we got the 1,000 sub stream upcoming. So if you guys haven't already, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook links are down below. If you want to keep up to date with that, that's the way to do it. We will try to do a quick live stream together the day we hit 1,000, just to thank everybody. And then, like I said, keep on the lookout on those platforms for the big announcement of what we're doing for the 1,000 subs. You see me and Gretchen wearing a couple of different shirts.
We won't sell this one. It's okay.
Yeah, this is a prototype.
Prototype, but we're working on a couple of merch ideas for everybody. We're just it's a lot of work. Surprisingly, a lot of work.
Yeah, it kind of is a surprising amount of work.
We got that work. We have some things worked out, so we're just waiting to smooth iron out everything. So if you guys want like a shirt or whatever we end up putting out, there's ways of doing that. By no means you're obligated to. If you'd like to, cool. Well, I don't think we're gonna aim to make any money. I think it's just mainly community thing. We just put it out for cost sort of thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that you're all obligated to.
and I'm being called ruthless.
But yeah. So that's coming up as well shortly. Shortly is very loose, so just watch out for it.
Mm-hmm.
Bourbon Scene next Friday night at 9. You said.
Yes, I think it was. Let me check the time here real quick. First is on next Tuesday, the 25th, on Rock Gut Review at 9 Central. And then the Bourbon Scene on the 28th, Friday, is at 8 Central.
Okay.
At least that's what I have in my calendar here. So,
yeah,
that's the current plan.
And, yeah, I think that's it, right?
And then we've got Josh and I will be at Bocconi's on Saturday.
Yep.
And then anybody in Austin, Total Wine next Saturday, and in the Lakeline Mall area, please come see us. I say us, probably Josh, but maybe me.
Come see at least one of us.
So
we will be at Total Wine in North Austin at the Lakeline Mall on the 29th.
Up in Cedar Park.
Between 3 to 6 p.m. Trying to get people to drink and taste some Iron Root.
Yeah. So come buy some Iron Root.
We're going to be standing there in the whiskey aisle shouting at people saying, hey, come drink some whiskey.
Yeah.
I wish I was in Austin for that.
Yeah.
I would drink whiskey.
There'll be more. We're working on getting San Antonio on our schedule too. So there will be more to come.
Other interesting things in the works I'm not at liberty to discuss yet. But
and if you guys don't already know, for those that are attending the Whiskey Tribe Bastards Ball in October.
Oh boy.
We will be there, Brad, Josh, myself, Gretchen, Christina's going to be there as well. So Jeremy won't, but he will be in spirit. We might have something special in store for that. So
Jeremy.
We're all gonna be there. So if you guys are have your invites and your tickets, We'll be there as a channel. We will have a table set up for an hour, I think, for a live.
Yeah, we don't have an exact time yet, but there'll be. We have a time slot.
Yeah. So if you guys see us, this is way ahead of time, but if you guys do see us, come up to us.
Yeah,
we're real nice.
So well,
I mean, Vito is. I'm kind
Vito,
of.
yeah.
I'm kind of a dick.
He really.
I'm really we. I have no choice but to be nice because I have no. I'm not intimidating, so
You have to make
Right.
up. You have to make up for the rest of us, and then I am going to make this happen. I will have some things that we're passing out to people that come up and say hi to us.
Yeah.
So Brad doesn't have to talk to people mostly.
Right.
It's mostly for Brad.
It's something
not really a gift.
where you just
mostly for
go,
Brad.
here, take this. Our
I mean,
communication is now over.
yeah.
like the Swanson thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and yeah, besides like the big events, we're gonna. I don't know if we're gonna. We put up videos. We're so bad at it. We try. We really try. So.
We filmed 2 on Monday night. So
yeah, I actually have probably about 6 that I need to edit. So
yeah, and then we've got the crawfish boil and then the brisket cook too.
Yeah.
So there's stuff to keep everyone entertained. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next week on Rock Gut and Bourbon Saints channels. Make sure you check them out and sub if you haven't, because we won't have a live stream next week.
Yep.
But we'll be back the following week.
Thanks for letting me come on this side of the camera. This was fun.
Hey,
we should do it more often, really.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, we always talked about this from the beginning that
and you're not talking to just Vito. You're actually you're talking to another human.
Quite honestly, whiskey is stereotypically a male-dominated space. Although there's plenty of awesome women. We just had a cameo from one of the most awesome, Marsha.
Speaking of that,
the more women we can get on here, the more women that can go start on other channels. Man, they got I Whiskey She Wines now.
Yeah.
They
exploded. They're doing good stuff there.
Got Teresa in the chat here.
If the channel wants it, I will do it.
We've just.
I will leave it up to the channel. Really, you guys want me to be here? I'll do it. I love it. But thank you for having me. This is fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, and we had Bonnie Brushwood on when I was gone.
Yeah, Bonnie was on too. Yeah.
So the more of that we can do, I think the better.
Sure.
Is my point.
All right, let's get out of here because
yeah,
Vito needs to finish this up and eat something. So
all right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for sticking around with us.
A week less.
Cheers.